What are the stock yardages of Lithuania's #1 golf YouTuber and your friend in the fairways, the high handicap whisperer golf sidekick? I play off either a 1 or 13 handicap depending on my feeling for the day. I've brought the Voice Caddy S4 out here. I also have 4 watches because Andrew Tate says you have to have a lot of watches and cigars to be successful. Oh my gosh, it's in the damn water. Well, that's a pretty standard drive without a warm-up. We got the swing speed up there. Let's have a look here, cats. I hit it a bit hard, but my stock shot is to smash it with the driver, so that's just the way it goes. Let's do a more tasty one. Now let's say I hit my big fader. How far does that go? That's my big fader with the beautiful ping, 8.5 degree head. Now we're gonna do 7 wood. Let's go standard shot here. I love a 7 wood ski, just straight off the deck. I don't like using a tee with this. Oh, that's a big money shot right there. 251. Now let's see. As you can see, my standard stock shot is absolutely massive. 248 with a 7 wood. It may look like I'm hitting the ball hard, and I am. Now we're going 4 iron off the tee. A little bit, this one's got the blue lines on it, so we'll measure this one, and then we'll use one without a line. Off a tee, 4 iron. I would normally estimate that to be like 225, and that's gone 215. Then off the deck, I'd probably say we're looking at about 210 max. .234, so it depends on the strike. I'll play the 4 iron anywhere between 215 and 235, depending on the lie, depending if it's a tee shot or off the fairway. Now I don't carry a 5 iron because I find that it's a gap that I don't get very often, where the 4 iron can go 205 to 225, and this 6 iron, my favorite club in the bag, is like an easy 189, 195, but if I want to step on one, I can close that gap between the 6 and the 4 with a 205, 207 yard shot, sometimes even 220 with a 6. So I'll hit 2 shots here with a 6, one a standard one. Man, this Andrew Tate style is getting in the way here. Let's give it a 6er, standard 6er. Oh man, that's so long. So that's 197 with a standard 6er. That's 197 with a standard 6er, which is basically what I play. I would say it's overestimating by a little bit. I don't think I hit that 197, but it's a very standard distance to go 190 something. Now let's step on one to show you just how much further this thing goes and how much I love it. I actually hit it better when I hit it harder. Absolutely stunning. And that's gone 204. Like I said, it likes to close the gap on the 4 iron. The 7 iron used to be my favorite club, but the 6 iron took over. My 7 iron, I like to hit around 183 to 186. Can go down to 179 depending on the day, the weather, my feeling. Now understand, with stock yardages, we mean our most comfortable shot with that club. Okay, I'm going to take some of these watches off because Andrew Tate be damned. They're actually getting in the way now. I've shown how successful I am with all my watches, so that has been established. Much success. The only thing we need now is a Bugatti. What color is your Bugatti? 185 today. I'm feeling loose. Oh, that's longer. I think that's going to be 190. Okay, 186. There we go. And that's my number for the 7. With stock yardages, it doesn't matter about the gapping. It doesn't matter because I can manipulate any of these clubs to go a different distance. But when we list our stock yardages, we're talking about our comfy shot with that club. Hey man, I've got 3-4 different shots with my 6 iron. I can hit 4 different distances. So don't get too caught up in other people's distance and gappings and think that it's like, why is the gapping so small there? Why are the degrees so different there? That's just the comfy shots. Whether they make sense to you doesn't matter, as long as they make sense to the golfer. I'm a 1 handicap, this shit just makes sense. These are all stock yardages with my Tacoma 301 MBs. I have KBS S Plus shafts in them. I like to hear 170 to 178 with my 8 iron. Somehow I have a built-in distance meter that can hit in those ranges. If I go under 170, it's better if I hit a hard 9 and have some error there rather than trying to soften this thing out. So I hit the 8er. I'd say 176. Oh, absolutely perfect number Okay, 168. That makes sense, that makes sense. Now let's try get a bit of a better strike. You can see that the divot was a bit crappy there. Let's get a real good strike here. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. I say 172 on that bad boy. 171.1. Now niner, I made a hole in one with a niner from 165 or 167. I can't remember exactly. So that's my number, 167, 165. I'm hitting the niner. I can push it out there 170. If it's downwind, I can get it out there 175. But give me that number 165, boom, I'm going straight into the 9. Oh, that's why. It's absolutely money on the left edge. 165, exactly right. The pitching wedge, I like to play, I'd say 146 to 150. Wow, a lot of hang time on that bad boy. Yeah, 149 on that one. What a beautiful shanker. I haven't hit a shank in, I don't know, I think maybe 3 years. You may know this about me, but I'm a rangefinder fiend. I have 43 of them. I've tested all of them. I even tried to make my own one. But the reason I didn't is because of rangefinders like the Red Tiger. This one is only like 120 bucks on Amazon, and it is everything I could ask for. I've tried making one similar to make something at that price point for you players, but I gave up because of models like this. Absolutely money. Get yourself one. The 48 degree, I normally play at about 127, 129. And if I'm feeling really loose, I'll hit it 135. Now you may ask yourself, well, a pitching wedge is probably 45, 46 degrees, and then you have a 48 degree wedge. Why do you have that funny degree gapping? Degree gapping in the wedges hardly makes a difference because of the different bounce characteristics, the different grind characteristics of the wedges. So this one has 8 degrees of bounce. A 48 degree with 10 degrees of bounce, a different kind of grind, is going to have a different distance, different ball flight, depending on your ground conditions. So for me, I don't care about the gapping. I think gapping is something people talk about for mental masturbation. What you want with your wedges is numbers. That's why people get fitted for wedges for numbers. They don't get fitted for degrees. They get fitted for numbers they want to hit. I love a 125 yard, 128 yard shot. That's why I play the 48 degree. Well, that's flown 132, so we could even say that can play up to 135, 140. When I get a number I'm excited about with a 48 degree, it's 128, 127. Now when I have a 52 degree in hand, my Tacoma Skyforger 001, now this one's going to have 10 degrees of bounce. It hits the numbers I want to hit. If it didn't, I'd have to slot something in there that hit that number. 52 degree with 10 degrees of bounce with Skyforger, I like to hit this exactly 117. I'm excited about that number. I get excited because I know that's my 52 degree. And it's actually flown about 120. We are a little downhill, down breeze. I get very excitable when I get that number 107, 108, because I know that's a 56 degree. If I'm not swinging that confidentially that day, about 100, 105. That's what I'm loving. So I'd say my standard stock distance with this club is 105 yards. That's when I'm excitable. I don't like to push the 56 degree. I like to keep it inside 110, never pushing too hard, because the harder I hit it, the more it spins, the less distance it goes. If it's into the wind, it's going to push back. But we can use this one for all kinds of distances, and it's a finesse club. When you see people talking about the distance they hit their 56 and 60 degree, the gap may drop a lot. That's because the 52 degree is a shot they're going to use for finesse inside, let's say 115 for me. And then the 56 degree maxes out at that distance. That's where they're comfortable maxing it out. But then they use it inside that distance. These are finesse clubs. It's not about distance. If someone's bragging about their 135 yard 56 degree, that person is not thinking, because it's not a distance club. It's a finesse club. We want to get this close for birdies. Those are my stock yardages. What does it mean for you? Not much, because the key is to get a consistent yardage, something that you hit the ball within a nice tight range. If you can do that consistently and use the true yardage, you're going to score much lower, because the better distance control you have, the better dispersion left and right you have, the more chance you have of getting on the green or leaving it in chippable positions. Handicap has nothing to do with distance. Score has nothing to do with distance. It has to do with accuracy and dispersion.